Hello! Hey guys, it's me Ash, here on Nerd Life, again. As you can see, I'm down in the pit of Forestry, as I just now dubbed it off the top of my head. This is our little hole we dug a long time ago. We filled it with Forestry mod stuff. As you can see, we've got a little strange little hookup, because I'm lazy. And, normally this pipe that's being ran would be hooked up to the centrifuge, but I was lazy, like I said. So I've got a chest here that I put some honey drops and some apatite in there. Now this is being piped to the sawmill that we built episode before last or so. I gave you a tour of it last episode after we were done messing with lasers. But what we're going to do is we're going to start this up with the switch, and what it's going to start doing is it's going to start pumping these honey drops and this apatite to the sawmill where I have some auto-crafting tables set up. So let's get it started. Boom. Now let's use a jetpack here, fly up. Not a jetpack noise, unfortunately, so I have to do it with my mind or my mouth. And then we're going to be like... We're going to head to the bottom here where our auto-crafting tables are set up. We're also going to switch on this one. Clicky. And it's going to power this redstone engine, which is going to be pumping out sugarcane. As you can see, we have almost a stack of sugarcane in there. And what it's going to be doing is it's going to be filling this one up. Now, I have the final piece to this puzzle right here. This is an auto-crafting table. And as you can see, it's pumping sugarcane into whatever slots have a sugarcane in them. Unfortunately, it can't make anything really. So it's just going to sit there. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this last sugarcane in here and show you that it just made some paper. As soon as I put that in there, it made some paper. Now what's happening is every time this recipe gets 2 or more of each item required on the whole thing, so it has 2, 2, 2, it makes a set of paper. Now we'll go for anything that you put in there. Any sort of recipe you put in there, it will do the same thing. Now if you look in here, I've got a bunch of paper already made, obviously. And then I've also got this apatite and honey drops coming in from that chest that we turned on first. And what it's going to do is every time some more apatite comes through, it's going to hit here and here, and it'll have 2 and 2. And whenever it finally has 2 of each of these, it'll make a set of 9 stamps, because that's what we have programmed it to make. So every time you recipe a stamp recipe, it makes a stack of 9. Once it makes that, it's going to be piped out. These are both using wooden transport pipes that are powered by these redstone engines to pull stuff out of them. Once it finally has what it needs, which is being piped in from here, as you can see, it's doing the honey first because it was first in the chest. Now that's unfortunate because it's going to take a long time for it to hit here, but that's okay. That's okay. Now in theory you could do 2 chests, one of apatite and one of honey drops, and it would be better because it would be pumping them separately and you would be getting them equally rather than waiting until all the honey drops are in here and then going to the apatite and filling it up. But eventually, whenever it's got all the honey drops in here, it will switch over to the apatite, and then it will in fact start making stamps. And as you can see, proof of this fact is that we've already actually made that many stamps just using what materials we had and running it for testing. So let me go over how this is working here. I've got this chest and the other chest over there, both hooked up with a simple wooden transport pipe that has a redstone engine hooked up to it. You can obviously use whatever engine you want, but this is the best way. Just do it this way, and it will pull whatever's in the chest out of it and pump it out wherever you have it. Since we have it here, it'll hit here. Eventually, there we go, boom, and it makes it. And then this redstone pipe, being powered by another redstone engine, is piping out the finished product and putting it into each of the paper slots required. Then, once the finished product, boom, here, is actually made, it will pump out with this transport pipe, being powered by this engine, into the chest where we keep our finalized products. It's a very simple process. And there's really nothing to something as simple as this. Now, once you get into different things you want to make automatically, for instance, the water mill, there are a ton of things that you would have to do to make it work. And also, there are some fail-safes you can put into a system like this, and that's what I want to sort of show you now. We're not going to use any engines or anything. I'm just going to use some dirt to show you where the engine would maybe go. So we have, for instance, 2, and as you can see, I have placed the two blocks apart rather than the one that I have here. I did this, it saves space, and it's really all that's necessary for the time being. Oh, well, there we go. We got a stamp. Hell yeah. Oh, shit. Don't want to do that. Let's take a look at it. So it should be filling up the appetite slowly but surely. See? So there's another one, and then the next one will hit here, and there's the other one, and it makes it, and then it pumps it out. It's working perfectly. Okay, so what we're going to look at here is we have a diamond pipe, expensive as crap to make, but really worthy of making if you have the diamonds to spare. I didn't really have the diamonds to spare. I took this pipe off of a system we already had set up, so there's that. But I'm going to show you, I felt it was necessary to show you this little tip. So we'll hook the diamond pipe there, and then we'll say we'll just take the wooden pipe out. We'll turn this off. We'll take this wooden transport pipe out just to be realistic. In fact, we'll go ahead and take this thing and this thing as well to make it working fully like a functioning realistic system here. So we'll put this out. Where the hell did that thing? Here it is. Next. Okay, so we'll put this here. It's powering. It's going to be powering our. Oh god damn it. Oh god damn. We're going to be powering this thing. So once I turn this switch on, it'll start powering this pipe, which will then pull out whatever theoretical stuff I have in here. Now you're probably wondering why we put a diamond pipe in here, and this is for the simple fact of overflow, because I've got a lot of graphics issues with the pipes lately. God damn it. Okay, so let's say you have an item in here. Let's see if we can make something with the stuff that we have. I don't think we can. No, we can't. But what we can do is pretend that we're making something. So let's say we have this in here, right? And let's pretend this is iron and we're making like an iron furnace or something, right? So let's say you're pumping a lot of dirt out, and you have something like this resin in the corner that you just don't have as much of. Like, say this dirt and this resin makes something really awesome like a condom. This thing is making a Minecraft condom, right? Now, you have a ton of dirt, right? You have a ton of dirt. You have stacks and stacks and stacks of dirt saved up because you know what you do in Minecraft? You dig dirt up. So you have a ton of this. So over time, the dirt is building up, and you have, say, 64 dirt on every single slot that needs dirt. But this resin here is causing an issue because you don't have much resin. In fact, the resin intake is really, really slow. So this recipe is waiting for a second resin to hit this socket. Meanwhile, dirt is still being pumped in, but it has no place to go. Normally, in this system, it would just start popping out of the pipes because it has no place to go. It's just going to despawn if you're not watching it. And that's a problem. So what you're going to want to do is make a diamond pipe. Now, you're going to want to put the stuff you require into the side that's going into the auto-crafting bench. So because we want all the stuff that's being made in this one to come through here and go straight into this, assuming there's room, we put it in the yellow because that's the yellow one. Now the white one is blank, and you want that at least one side of this to be blank, because that's the side that any sort of extra stuff is going to be pumped out of. So you say you have a, let's pretend this is a chest and it's being pumped out of the chest. You would want the white to be pumped up and around and back in, because then if the dirt's coming through and it has no place to go, it'll immediately turn up and go through the first free colored section of the pipe, and it'll be pumped right back into the chest that you're pulling out of. So you're recycling the materials without it losing without losing any because it despawns or whatever the case is. So that's a simple system to get away with using Buildcraft pipes. Now what you could do is use transposers and pneumatic tubes with the red power tubing system, and that's sort of more, it's a smarter system, but it's also a little bit more technically advanced, and it's a whole nother video really. But using Buildcraft pipes, this is a basic way to make it safer for you to not lose any items. Now, of course, this system that we're using here, it's okay because I know that I'm not going to be pumping in enough items really for it to overflow ever, because we're just making stamps and there's not a whole lot involved in it. So it's really not a big deal. Oh, give me a break. Did I just ruin that engine? Yep, I did. I used an axe on it instead of a pickaxe because I'm an idiot. But there's another little pro tip: don't use axes on engines. Use pickaxes. So I'm going to replace that engine. But basically, you get the drift. And as you can see, we made a almost a whole nother stack already. So this is a really efficient way. You definitely want to make some golden pipes for any sort of long distance pipe traversing, because they're really cheap, because you don't use gold for very much really, and you get plenty of it. And they also no longer need a redstone power source for them to actually work, whereas they did in the really old versions. So they're perfect. They're just absolutely delicious. And hopefully you guys understand this. If you have any questions about Autocrafting Tables, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. This has been Ash here on Nerdlife. Hopefully you guys liked this tutorial. I know it's a short one, and I know it's a boring one, but you know, you had to know it, or you wouldn't be here. Also, if you like Tech It or Feed the Beast, then please check out our Volt series that just started today. You can see that on our YouTube channel. You can click on my name or just go to youtube.com/anerdlife, and you will find a new video for Volts, and it also has its own playlist. So if you're watching this late, there's probably multiple Volts episodes. I don't know for sure what days it's going to be released. Right now, tentatively, it's planned to be released every day that Feed the Beast is released, which is Mondays and Wednesdays. But I may change it so that it's released on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm not for sure. Just keep an eye out for them, and we'll let you know, obviously, on YouTube or on Twitter. So follow me at _nerdlife if you want to keep up, because I post on Twitter all the time. And until next time, this has been Ash on Nerdlife. Play on, players.